Kuroki Gensai is going to demonstrate his anti-plot armor greatness once again. Shen Wulong is going to demonstrate a next level degree of power and go on a once in a lifetime rampage. The three protagonists of Kengan Omega will demonstrate the absolute power of teamwork. Akoya is going to shock the world, and most importantly, Chopstick Johnny is going to leave everyone stunned. So boys, here's the prediction sheet I created. We have X for fodder, question mark for the potential winners, a yellow circle for the characters that are going to win at least one fight, a plus for wildcard, pretty much anything can happen for these characters, and a green circle for those I believe are going to make it to the end, the final circle of the Battle Royale tournament type of thing we're now getting. So at the current minute when it comes to Kano Gito, naturally he's not going to be fodder. I wouldn't really consider him a wild card. Most people are assuming he's going to perform quite well. Either have a fight with Yarn, maybe some returning fights with people like Wakatsuki, Hatsumi. Kano could really be doing anything throughout this battle, but fighting the worm is definitely going to be a major thing, and naturally being one of the strongest on the Kengan side, he's going to, in my opinion, make it to the end. So I'll be putting a green circle on Kano Gito. Koga, protagonist, I think you kinda have to give all the protagonists of Kengan Omega due to plot armor in the potential winner category. Yes, I would say most people won't really enjoy it that much if Koga or Orochi win. If Oma manages to pull out an insane dub, I think more people would be excited, and more people actually, I would say, believe Oma has the ability to pretty much acquire victory in this tournament. But Koga and Orochi, while currently being the underdogs to many people's perspective, do have insane plot armor naturally and could pull out an insane dub, all things considered. So all these three go on potential winner. When it comes to Kure Ryan, I personally believe he won't make it to the end of the battle, as his whole purpose for participating is his match against Gilbert Wu. I do believe he's going to maybe destroy some random worm fodder before the Gilbert Wu fight, but making it to the end or not being disqualified for whatever reason, I don't really think so. So wins at least one fight. I do believe he's going to defeat and kill Gilbert Wu, but their fight isn't really going to be something that continues to the very end of the Battle Royale, at least officially based on the rule sets. A similar situation for Dorota. He's a top tier part of the Kengan Association. I do believe he's going to at the very least win one fight. Even if one of these other Kengan fighters try and jump him, he should be able to defeat a large majority of them if we're being realistic. So winning at least one fight, I don't believe he's going to make it to the end or anything like that, but will be quite powerful. Sega Bahashi, I actually believe is going to be a character Shen actually takes out fairly early. I low-key imagine the three wrestlers being the first group Shen ends up fighting. We know he's going to go on a rampage and take out a large amount of people in this battle, and I do believe the first ones to face defeat may actually be Sega Bahashi and Jose, while Haruo could be potentially the one to survive that clash. So for that reason, I'm giving him the wildcard tag right now. I'm not calling Sega Bahashi fodder when it comes to overall power. I just think his role throughout this tournament is going to conclude quite early at the current minutes. When it comes to Lo Long, he is going to be facing a worm member without a doubt. He's had the previous clash with Few, so perhaps that would be continuing again. I could see him taking out one of these random no-named worm members as well, or really most other Kengan Association members if they tried jumping him throughout this battle. Do I believe he's going to make it to the end? Honestly, I can't say I do. It is more likely than someone like Girotta, I would say, but I'm not going to definitively claim as such when it comes to my predictions. When it comes to Cosmo, low-key, he could be someone that just manages to make it to the end, but if we're looking at the trend so far when it comes to Kengan Omega, I don't think that's going to be in Cosmo's favor. He's going to win a fight, probably going to perform quite well, maybe multiple victories, but he won't be in the last circle. A similar situation for Gao Lang. I can't in good faith put him as fodder, not winning any fights. Yes, he could end up facing Shen Wulong quite early, and that could be his ultimate downfall, but I do believe those three are going to, at the very least, win one fight. So Chiba, I was thinking about giving him the wildcard tag, but realistically my prediction is fodder. A similar situation for pretty much all of the supernovas. We could have, for example, Gao Lang defeat King, Lo Long defeat one of the others, Cosmo defeat one of them if they end up fighting one another for whatever reason. So at the current minute, I'm going to say all of these guys are pretty much fodder, unfortunately. So let's put the X tag on him, X tag on him. Julius, I want to actually have a pretty good performance throughout. Maybe some type of rematch against Wakatsuki would be pretty cool. Maybe some revenge against Kano Gito, who recently defeated him. Maybe a Toa clash, or maybe there's a big buffed up Worm member he ends up fighting as well. Who knows what could really happen with Julius? I want to say he's going to win one fight, so I am going to give him the orange circle at the current minute, but who knows exactly. When it comes to Lu Dong and the current Nicholas, we know their fight is set up to be against the real Nicholas, you could say. I do have a feeling that Lu Dong is going to win one fight in this battle, but the current Nicholas is going to lose against the pretty much real Nicholas in their first battle, and Lu Dong is going to be the one to face him after that and eventually defeat him. That's how I personally see that going. So fodder tier for current Nicholas, unfortunately. A similar situation for this dude. I don't think anyone expects much from him at the current minute. When it comes to Mutaba, I am going to put the wildcard on him. Yes, he's officially hired by Kengan Association members, but it really depends who actually hired him for this tournament, and considering the other win conditions or what's actually awarded for the absolute victor, Mutaba's goal and approach could be very different to pretty much everyone else, so I do expect a lot of greatness from him. So wildcard, anything can really happen. This dude, another fodder, could be a Shen Wulong early victim, could be another Kengan fighter victim. He does actually have beef with Ray, as if you guys don't remember, in early Kengan Ashura, something that was cut from the anime, Ray was the one to defeat him and pretty much take his place as his employer's fighter. When it comes to Wakatsuki, I think he is going to be someone making it to the end in the final arena. He's had a unique build-up and training arc of his own. He has beef with a lot of people, so a lot of interesting fights could occur, but realistically he's probably going to be more so on the team up against the Worm, broadly speaking. So him being a key player throughout the entire battle and making it to the end is where I place him, but I don't believe he's going to win. Let me make more X's real quick. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're enjoying the Kengan content. So Soda, fodder. Ray, do I believe he's going to make it to the end? I can't say I do, but definitely winning 1, 2, or maybe 3 fights, Ray is definitely still regarded as a monster. Could take out multiple Worm members for all we know. I could see him clashing with Fu, or really anyone realistically, but winning 1 fight I think is a guarantee. Jaime, I'm going to put a wildcard tag on him. Anything can really happen if I'm being honest. He hasn't done anything when it comes to Kengan Omega since the Purgatory battle. Who knows what his goal is for participating? Maybe he's some type of trader, now part of the worm. So who exactly knows? Wildcard tag for now. Rito, low-key, I want to give potential winner category, but since he did win the Berserker Ball, I'm actually going to give him making it to the end. This may be controversial, and I could see him being a Shen Wulong victim early on as well, but I just have the feeling Rito is going to get a lot of love throughout this battle and make it to the end, but not really win. This dude is once again another fodder. Naturally, one of these fodders could really shock everyone and end up like making it to the end or finessing everyone, but at the current minute, fodder without a doubt. Kuroki Gensai, the anti-plot armor bearded goat. It's not wise to bet against Kuroki in any situation, so naturally I'm going to put him on the potential winner group. I think everyone just has to agree at this point. We saw what happened in Kengan Ashura. I think you just have to give Kuroki a chance, and he seems to be locked in like never before when it comes to the preparation for this battle. Justin, I want to say wins one fight, but realistically speaking, we kind of need like characters to lose without winning any fights at all, unless Shen Wulong does end up taking out like a large amount of them, and a lot of them don't even get one victory, something that is possible. But I will say fodder because that's pretty much what I want to happen. Saw Pang, he could really do anything. I do have the feeling, similar to Segabahashi, he is going to be a early Wulong victim. He may perform quite well and shock a lot of people in the fan base, but I have the feeling he's going to face Wulong and be a early victim of him, or maybe even someone like Yan before he ends up clashing with a certified top tier part of the Kengan Association like Kano, for example. Akoya, you have to give him the wildcard tag. Throughout all of Kengan Omega, I've been waiting for his death, his absolute defeat, his removal from the story, and he's pretty much proved everyone wrong at every chance. Bro could end up jumping Koga throughout this battle. Anything can happen with Akoya, so just give him wildcard. That is definitely deserving. Toamuro, I want to say wins one fight, but I feel as though Sandro is going to do him dirty, I'm not gonna lie. So unfortunately I will be giving him the fodder tag or not getting any victories. Naturally a similar situation for Okubo. Who could Bro potentially defeat on this entire list? No one, so naturally he needs a cross on his head. Carlos I think will win at least one fight. I have a lot of faith in his potential. Himuro, not going to be him, probably fodder, early victim of one of these other fighters potentially. Hatsumi Sen, I'm kinda conflicted. He may be someone that makes it to the end, or maybe someone that is a key sacrifice that faces one of the key worm members. He should be regarded as a top tier still if we're being realistic. So with that said, I will give him at least one victory, but I don't believe he's making it to the end like the ones that currently have the green tag or the potential winners, who will also be making it to the end. Canada, I think we have to give him the fodder tag like most times. Kokoro, probably going to get taken out by Kogaroki or someone else quite early if he does end up fighting them, or just a random Wulong victim. Adam may get one victory, but realistically I don't think so. We need probably more fodder than wins one fight, as Wulong is probably going to acquire an insane amount of life points. Inaba, similar situation. Falcon, I'll say a similar situation as well, unfortunately. I would like him to pull out an insane dub in some random fight, but can't say it's going to happen. I do potentially wish there was more worm fodder to potentially give some more of these guys a victory, but that this isn't the case. Retsudo. So I'm going to put him as a potential winner due to the foreshadowing we've got for him throughout pretty much the entire Kengan story and how his ultimate goal is to take over. He could be someone directly opposing Yan. I believe he's going to make it to the end. Actually, I'll change it. I think he's going to be someone that's going to make it to the end and from a lot of people's perspective be a potential winner at this point. But for me, I don't think this is his time to shine, if I'm being honest. Nikado Ren, probably fodder, I would say. I would love to see a fight between him and Lu Dong. That would be pretty cool. But I can't really see him getting a victory in this battle. The personal bodyguard and previous Fang as well. I could actually see him being a early Wulong victim. I could see him clashing with Fu, clashing with Yan, clashing with one of these guys. I want to say at least wins one fight because I kind of enjoy his character and want to see more from him. A similar situation for Misasa. I want to see him at least win one fight, but it may not happen unfortunately. When it comes to Kyozan, I'm going to put him in fodder. He may be a early Wulong victim, that's how I kind of see it going. Yes, he's incredibly strong, and maybe he could be involved in the original battle against Shen Wulong, where we have people like Sekibahashi, Jose, and Kyozan pulling up right away, where the battle's intense, insane, but the result is them getting defeated without claiming a victory. Shen Wulong, we have to give a potential winner tag. That's just how it needs to go. For all we know, he could just dominate everyone. Yes, he could have some trouble at various moments against someone like Kuroki, Oma, Kano, and who knows who else, but you have to give him this tag. Yan is more so the strategy behind the worm at the current minute. I think he's going to be a monster and make it to the end, similar to Kano, Gito. Wakatsuki is going to be a key player. Fu, I think, will win 1 or 2 battles, but perhaps his battle against Lolong, if that occurs, results in both of them being defeated or removed. That's how I see it going. Dodo, I'm actually going to say fodder tier. Yes, he's one of the characters that has a name, but fodder tier. Nicholas the Banner, I mentioned before how I believe he's going to defeat the current Nicholas, but lose against Lu Dong, meaning he does win at least one fight. Chopstick Johnny, with the name alone, I think he's going to make it to actually no. With the name alone, I'm going to say wildcard because goated stuff. We can't really say much about the characters that don't have names. Like, we do have an I from this guy, which could mean something. So, let's say this. Wildcard for him. Anything can happen. Number 4 makes it to the end, and the rest I'm going to say are fodder. So, put all fodder on these guys. Of course, we don't really know anything. This is just purely prediction based. I need a few more of those. And then we can place the tag on Gilbert Wu. So as I mentioned before, I do believe he's going to be killed and defeated by Kure Ryan throughout this battle. Perhaps he will get one dub before then, so similar to Ryan, at least one victory, but that's really it. But this is my off-the-cuff predictions for the entire tournament. And when it comes to the absolute victor of the entire tournament, my current prediction is Garoki. And I'll leave it at that. Laters, boys.